Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kid Stories Podcast. I'm Phil Bechtel. Today's episode is sponsored by More Marker. I love to show our kids how we can repair instead of just replace. If you have the More Marker kit in your house, whenever your little finds a dried out marker, instead of throwing it away, they will learn to take the time to try and fix it. It's easy and fun. You place the marker in the tube-shaped holder and use the attached cord to swing it around and voila! Your marker is brought back to life. It's a fun way to fix. Click the link in the show notes and use promo code KIDSTORIES to get a discount on your More Marker kit today. Now for some shout-outs. Adelia and Henry from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania are big fans of the show. I think if you two were characters in the stories, you would be earth-moving wizards. And you would have the power to move mountains and rivers and lakes and entire houses. Thanks for listening, Adelia and Henry. And Nora from Amityville likes the stories. Nora, if you were a character in the stories, you would be a tiny little wood sprite who protects all the little creatures in her forest with your nature magic. Thanks for listening, Nora. Today's episode was written from the ideas of Liam and Owen. Liam and Owen are Patreon subscribers and friends of mine, and they provided a wealth of detail about this new series. They are both skilled storytellers, and I'm sure you will enjoy these episodes. Today's story is titled, Too Much Magic. Liam and Owen reunited after months away on their own missions. They decided to meet back up in the valley since it's so lovely this time of year, and they had a hankering for some goofballs. The two sat atop a tall hill near the southern swamp's border, enjoying some chocolatey goodness and discussing their recent adventures. "Where were you again?" asked Liam. "Creature hunting in the still sea," answered Owen. "Oh, right, yeah. That place is creepy," said Liam. "Did you catch anything?" "Oh, some air jellies and a land shark," said Owen. "Pretty cool stuff. What did you find in Sprite Woods?" A bunch of angry sprites," said Liam. "Those little buggers bit me 100 times, but I got what I needed for my potions." Some noise from the meadow below got the attention of the brothers' pets, who had been playfully wrestling nearby. Owen's ice cheetah and Liam's little two-headed dragon stopped playing and their ears perked up. They sat and looked down the hill at two groups of people in the distance coming together. "What's going on down there?" asked Owen. The brothers took out their telescopes to get a better look. With one eye closed and the other peering through a gold telescope, Liam said, "Oh, I know some of those people. Well, not personally, but that's gotta be Master Momo from the Valleytown Ninjas, and I think that's probably Old Witch Tubes. They're always around together and getting into things. But I don't know the other group." "Those are the Red Cloaks," said Owen, looking through his own telescope. "Nasty bunch that hides out in the southern swamps. They're generally not too good at magic, but they sure do have the coolest stuff. Real powerful artifacts and things." This might be a fun little show then," said Liam. They heard faraway sounds of shouting. The people down below postured for a fight, and then, all of a sudden, the battle was on. The ninjas rushed up from the back and immediately engaged the Red Cloak wizards. Other Red Cloaks rushed into battle from the border of the southern swamps, launching magical blasts from their staffs and wands. The magic-wielding heroes attempted to block those attacks, and the fight continued. Owen popped the last goofball in his mouth and asked, "You think we should go down there and help out?" "I don't really have anything else going on. You?" asked Liam. Owen shook his head and stood up. Kylo, the ice cheetah, scrambled to stand next to Owen, waiting for a sign from his owner that it was all right to run down and join the fight. Ella and Ment, the two-headed dragon, did the same, and the two pets sat staring up at the brothers. Owen and Liam shared a look and suddenly broke into a run, dashing down the hill so fast they nearly tumbled head over heels. Ella, Ment, and Kylo quickly caught up to the boys and passed them, eager to engage the enemy. They ran out ahead, and Kylo whooshed a cloud of ice breath into a small group of Red Cloaks. A fine mist of ice fog and skinny shards of ice shot out between Kylo's sharp cheetah teeth. The red cloaks in front of him fought against the cold as their bodies slowed down due to the instantly freezing temperature. The two-headed dragon Ella and Ment bounded into the fray, whipping its tail from side to side, knocking down any enemies unlucky enough to be in the area. The heroes of Valleytown certainly appreciated the help. They were outnumbered, and, as always, the red cloaks had all kinds of powerful magical items to aid them in battle. Owen reached the mess and joined the ninjas in their assault, hacking away at wooden staffs with his sword. Some of the staffs were magically protected and his sword bounced off, but other staffs were sliced clean in two and rendered practically useless. Liam reached into his many pockets to reveal potions and powders. In one hand, he held a bright orange powder that he flung into a trio of red cloaks. As soon as the powder cloud left Liam's hand, it became a rush of flames, knocking down the enemies with a wall of heat. And so it went as the red cloaks and the heroes continued to slug it out. But things went south when an overwhelming amount of magic was unleashed during the battle. The magic wielders on either side were fervently pressing the attack. Magic bolts and missiles and flames crossed back and forth. Potions were launched and magical items swelled with energy. The incredible power blasting forth centered in the middle of the battlefield, and with a loud crackling sound, the very fabric of reality tore open. In the air above the combatants, a ragged, pitch-black oval appeared as if someone tore open the sky to reveal the darkness underneath. The black hole stayed in one place, but it swirled and rotated. Everyone stopped fighting and put their hands up to their ears. The sound was like a piece of paper ripping in half, only amplified 1,000 times. A fierce wind blasted the encounter as the spinning black oval sucked up everything. Swords and staffs and bags and hats were ripped from the fighters and disappeared into the darkness. Owen and Liam dropped to their knees and tried to crawl away from the black hole. Their fingers dug into the ground, and still the wind sucking into the black hole pulled and pulled. Kylo and Element dug their claws into the ground as well, desperately trying to keep from being sucked into the black. But the pull was too strong. All at once, Liam, Owen, and their loyal pets were sucked up into the air and disappeared into the strange black hole. And as soon as they were ripped from the valley, the black hole spun smaller and smaller, and with a loud whooshing sound, it disappeared entirely. The wind and the ripping sound stopped. The red cloaks ran away into the southern swamps, and the heroes lay on the ground, slowly gathering themselves. "What in the wild, crazy bugaboo just happened?" Master Momo asked, looking around for his swords. "I think there was too much magic out there," suggested Tubes. "An overwhelming amount of different kinds of wild magic created a rift or a tear in our dimension and sucked up those two boys." "Yeah, who were those guys?" asked Momo. "It was a potion maker and his magical creature-hunting brother," said Tubes. "I don't know them personally, but I know of them. They probably just happened to be in the area, came to help, and ended up getting sucked into a black hole," finished Momo. "What an epic bummer. I hope they're all right wherever they are." And the heroes of Valleytown returned to their respective homes, and their day continued as it normally does. Meanwhile, things were anything but normal for Owen and Liam. Upon being sucked up into the black hole, they were thrust into a strange, dark place. They had no control over their direction. They felt like they were racing down a slide, slipping out of control. Everything was darkness around them, except for countless colorful stars in the distance. The bright, colorful lights flashed by them as they slid around wildly in this strange outer space, until they neared one of these brightly colored stars, and instead of whipping by it, they were sucked right into it. Their eyes closed tight because of the warm brightness now surrounding them, and they landed hard on the ground. They looked around as their eyes adjusted to the light, and they found themselves in a place not unlike the valley. Rolling green hills, faraway mountains, trees, and thick green grass. "What just happened?" yelled Owen. "Kylo! Element!" the boys yelled after their beloved pets. Both magical animals were curled up nearby, motionless on the ground. The boys shook the animals and repeated their names, hoping desperately that they hadn't been terribly injured in this wild journey. Soon, the creatures opened their eyes and came to. "Oh, thank goodness," said Liam. "For a minute I thought—" He didn't finish his sentence, afraid to even speak of losing their pets. The four then looked closer at their surroundings, trying to better understand where they were. "It must have been too much magic," said Liam. "It ripped open a black hole or a portal or I don't know. Does any of this look familiar to you?" Owen shook his head. "Nope. It's nowhere I've ever been." "Right. So, I guess we take a walk," said Liam. "Take a walk and try and find some people and maybe a way back home." So the boys and their pets slowly made their way out into this new world. The end. Thanks for listening, friends. I would love to see your ideas of what Kylo the Ice Cheetah and Ella Ment the Two-Headed Dragon look like. Send those pictures to kidstoriespodcast@gmail.com, and I will schedule them to be featured in some Kid Stories Podcast Instagram videos. Adios!